So what we gotta do now is create a new JavaScript. And what this JavaScript is gonna do is it's gonna raycast. We'll call it explosion. I'm gonna open it. So we gotta define our explosion prefab in code. We haven't made it yet, but we will get around to it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a particle system for our explosion. So all particle systems use transform instead of GameObject. So we'll save that. Oh, I didn't spell transform right. We're gonna apply this to our bullet prefab. Now let's create a new prefab and we'll call it explosion. And then we're gonna create a new particle system. And actually no, we don't have to create a new particle system. There's a prefab one. Small explosion. That's what we want. And we're just gonna take down the size of it. And one shot, and it auto destruct is on. Cool. So now let's put this on our explosion prefab, and just to make things easy, we'll just call it explosion prefab. So in the bullet prefab, put the explosion prefab for the transform. Delete that. Go back in the code. Now we're gonna call a function, or we're gonna make a function, and we're gonna call it explode. And what this function does, it's gonna destroy our bullet. This dot GameObject. This dot GameObject is the bullet, because that's what this script is applied to. And it's also going to instantiate a bullet. Or instantiate explosion, my bad. And we don't have our position and rotation yet, because that's what we're going to use raycasting for. So we're just going to call it null for now. So for our raycasting, we're going to call a point, and it's going to be a vector 3, which we can later use in the position, but we haven't defined point yet. We're going to need to do that in raycasting. So function update, and we're also going to call a hit variable, which is just going to be a raycast hit. And a forward variable, which is going to be, actually it's going to be a transform direction vector 3 forward. And that's where our ray is going to be going, because a ray is just, it's a point in 3D space, and it just keeps on going forward as a line. And what raycasting does is it sees if that ray collides with any other game object, and if it does, it returns true, and it gives you all this information about the position in world space where the game object hit and the normal of the game object, and we're going to use all that. So if physics dot raycast transform dot position, which is the same thing as this dot transform dot position, which is the bullet, forward, which way we're going for the raycast, the hit it returns, and how far forward we want the raycast to go. We're just going to put 1 for now. So if that returns true, then point, which is a vector 3, equals hit dot point. Now this raycast hit is going to be defined when it hits the wall, and this hit dot point is an impact point in world space, and we can use that, which is where we're going to instantiate our explosion, so we can do that now. Point. And what else do we want to do? Oh, explosion rotation equals quaternion from to rotation, and I'll explain what this is later. Okay, so this is our explosion rotation. It's the normal of the wall we're going to shoot at, which is just, it's opposite of this green line, it's that way. And it's a from to rotation, which is rotation which rotates from a direction to a direction. So now let's see what that looks like. And I don't know what wrong. Did I save it? Doesn't look like the raycast return true, so let's do 2 in front of it. Oh, you know what? I didn't call the explode function, so if this returns true, if the raycast hits something, then also explode. And now we got a really slow flying bullet hitting the wall through raycasting, and the explosion rotation is generated through the normals of the wall. We're gonna up the speed. And looks like in the start I put 10. There we go. Bullet's a little fast now. Okay. So now we have a raycasting bullet and a muzzle flash that's somewhat random. And if we wanted to make like an Uzi or something, we could always just change this to get button instead of get button down. Now we got our... Oh, and one more problem I'm seeing right now is the bullets are raycasting each other. As they're traveling, see how close together they are? If I'm standing forward, they hit each other. If I'm just shooting forward. And that can be fixed by either slowing down the fire rate or maybe doing like 0.5 distance in front of it, or even changing the size of this Z. Nope, that didn't work either. 0.3, and we'll do 0.1. Yep, see, now they don't collide with each other. Now, one thing you have to look out for is if you want really fast flying bullets, say we want to kick it up to like 60, then we have to add more distance for the raycast, because you can see right now it's just going right through. So you go in here and you change it to 2 and change this to get button down. Now it's traveling the same speed, but it doesn't go through the wall at all because it has a 2, I think it's meters, 2-meter lead in front of it with a raycasting. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching.